There are only two types of speakers in the world. One, the nervous, and two, the liars. Mark Twain said and wrote many clever things, but that statement could not be truer. In fact, isn't that why you clicked on this video? Or maybe you fell down one of those addictively intriguing YouTube rabbit holes that just so happened to spit you out in this surprisingly beneficial destination. Either way, welcome to Presenting Perfectly, a series of videos about presentations and public speaking. As an audience and as a production company, we see great presenters every day. On screen, on stage, online, and yeah, even sometimes at work. But how do they do it? How does one prepare to speak calmly, passionately, knowledgeably, eloquently, and even comically in front of an audience? It's no cakewalk, that's for sure. Those people weren't born with an innate ability to present. They prepared, they practiced, and prepared some more. You might think to yourself, oh well, I'm just going to be reading off a teleprompter. Or, oh well, I'll have note cards. Or, I wrote my presentation, I'll be able to deliver it just fine. Maybe you will, but then again, maybe you won't. Have you ever heard the quote from Benjamin Franklin, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail"? Well, he was a smart cookie, and since he's not around anymore to divulge his preparation tips, I'll step in and help you out. First things first. To properly prepare for and deliver an out-of-this-world speech or presentation, you need to focus on three things: your body, your mind, and your environment. Let's start with your body. You wouldn't drive your car without putting fuel in the engine, so why would you expect your body to perform without feeding it? Dopamine and epinephrine help regulate mental alertness. And where can you find these delectable tools? Proteins. By including protein in the meal prior to your speaking engagement, you're preparing your body for success. Be careful not to eat too much or too quickly, or even right before your presentation. Nerves make our bodies do weird things, and you don't want to risk feeling uncomfortable on stage. Exercising prior to your speaking engagement is a great way to prepare your brain to think and respond quickly on stage. Cortisol, a hormone secreted when we're anxious or stressed, can block your ability to respond to complex information, or it can limit your creativity when high levels are present in the body. Take a long walk, take a bike ride, or even hit the gym to dilute this overactive hormone and bring your brain's responsiveness back to the equilibrium. Okay, so we have your body ready for anything. Now let's prepare your mind. If practice makes perfect and our goal is a perfect delivery, then it's never too early to start. Get out there. Practice public speaking with groups such as Toastmasters. Testing your skills regularly in front of an audience in a low-pressure situation will make you more competent and confident when the time comes to really shine. Being comfortable on stage is second to none, but it's hard to be comfortable if you're not being you. Don't plan gestures. They won't match your other involuntary body movements, and they'll distract you from your delivery. And make sure to dress to impress. Confidence can be easily acquired by wearing something that you feel great in. Ladies, one quick pointer. If you're going the dress or skirt route, find out how high the stage is prior to your presentation. Nothing is more distracting than trying to give a speech and simultaneously worrying that the audience can see more than they signed up for. Set color might be another factor to take into account. Many speaking engagements are recorded, and you don't want to blend in with your background. Wearing a color that creates contrast between you and the background is your best bet. We've prepared to look good and feel great, but how about our worst-case scenario, what-if anxieties? Thankfully, with an experienced production staff, you don't have much to worry about. We run backup projectors, monitor your audio, visuals, lighting, etc., so that everything goes according to plan and runs flawlessly. However, things do happen, like a power outage or the audience not responding the way you wanted a joke or a question to go. Being prepared is the best way to combat these fears. By creating contingency plans for these unlikely situations, you're more likely to master your presentation and give a flawless delivery. Practice your speech incessantly. Make yourself comfortable with how the delivery looks and sounds, gather feedback, and keep practicing. Delivering your speech in front of a mirror, on camera, into an audio recording device, or in front of friends and family will not only help you master it, but it will ease your anxieties and help to build confidence, and that'll show in your delivery. Don't forget to time your speech so that way you can assure that it fits in with the allotted time frame that you've been given. If applicable, Try to shorten your speech even further to allow times for questions from the audience. One trick to keeping track of time on stage is with a time clock. A time clock is typically placed on the floor in front of the stage of a presentation-heavy event and counts down so that way the speaker knows how much time he or she has left to talk. Ask your production company if one will be made available to you. Now for the environment, or what we like to call on-site preparation. When it comes time for your speaking engagement, be sure to block out some time during the day prior or even hours before to familiarize yourself with the environment. Ideally, rehearsals will be built into the production schedule, but depending on the size and scope of the event, you might not have that luxury. If that happens to be the case, stop by the event space and ask the crew when's a good time to come in and run through your presentation, as well as walk through the space. They want to be ready and prepared as much as you do, so don't be afraid to ask. It's also never a bad idea to make friends with the people in charge of making you look good. Make sure that your crew has the updated script or run of the show for your presentation, as well as the needed content. As a rule of thumb, the earlier presentation content can be delivered, the better. Do not wait until the day prior or even the day of to find out that your video isn't going to play without an internet connection. And the event organizers aren't going to pay for one. Yes, unless negotiated, wired internet connections and Wi-Fi can be extra and significant charges. Deliver your content a month or weeks prior, so that way the production company can proof, troubleshoot, and edit anything that needs tweaking. Then, while you're on site, you can confirm with the crew that they have your content and focus on running it to approve the order that it's displayed in. Work with the crew to determine where you stand on stage and how much room you have to move. Some sets have restrictions, for example, too far upstage and you're in the production, or too far stage left or stage right and you're out of the stage wash. Depending on the audio arrangement, they may also want you to stand in specific areas to avoid audio feedback from speakers. Take some time pre-show to establish your safe zone on stage. Walk the room ahead of time to check sight lines and familiarize yourself with where your audience will be and how they'll view the room. Meet with your sound guy to get mic'd up for sound check. Usually he or she will assign you a mic number, get you set up, request that you remove your name badge and your phone, and send you on stage to test the mic. Take note of the time it takes to do this. Now imagine that a show is running late or early and there's a line of speakers at the audio table eager to get mic'd up and jump on stage. During the show, make sure to meet back at the audio table to get mic'd up at least a half hour prior to your scheduled time on stage. Last but not least, rehearse. If you have slides with your presentation, practice running through them with a clicker to familiarize yourself with the responsiveness, transitions, and gain comfort on stage. Practice cueing videos or audio files that are a part of your presentation to not only familiarize the crew with the transitions, but to also approve of the order and quality of the playback. If you'll be using a teleprompter or a confidence monitor, be sure to rehearse your presentation using it. Practice and preparation in this environment can do a lot to remove your speaking anxiety, as will sufficient quality preparation time at home. If you're still feeling unprepared or have additional questions, feel free to give us a call. We would love to talk.